He said, God is that which no greater can be conceived. ANSELM pointed out that there are just two ways in which something can exist. Something can exist only in our minds and be strictly imaginary, like Santa Claus, unicorns, tooth fairies. Or they can also exist in our mind and also in reality, like pizza, horses, Ferrari, cars. Something that we can imagine, but it is also real. Anselm's point was that anything good will be better if it existed in reality as well as in our minds. Like tooth fairies, wouldn't they be better if they existed in reality, not only in our minds? Because if we define God as the greatest thing that we can conjure up in our minds, the only thing that could possibly be greater than Him would be a real version. And since we are already imagining the greatest thing possible, there can't be anything better. Therefore, God has to exist for Anselm, both in imagination and in reality. Here it is laid out in a philosophical argument. God is the greatest thing that we can think of. Things can exist only in our imaginations or also in reality. Things that exist in reality are always better than things that exist only in our imaginations. If God exists only in our imagination, then He wouldn't be the best thing we can think of because God in reality would be better. Therefore, God must exist in reality. Anselm was sure he had deductively proven God's existence in a way that was immune to error. However, one of his contemporaries, his fellow French monk named Gaunilo, wasn't satisfied. He suggested that we could use the same line of reasoning to prove the existence of literally anything. Here is his counter-argument for Anselm. The best island I can imagine is the one I can swim and relax on a tropical beach, ski down a snow-capped mountain all in one afternoon. I can imagine it, so it must exist. Otherwise, it wouldn't be the best island. There would be one better, and that one will have to be real. And Anselm responded to Gaunilo's criticism by saying he missed the point, that the argument only works for necessary being, of which there is only one, God. This right here is a classical example of the fallacy known as begging the question.